Oh, look at that potato. That is absolutely what we're looking for. Guten gardening, everybody. A month ago when we did our first potato harvest of the year, we were trying to get a sneak peek as to what was underneath the surface in our other blue container. At that time, we were just satisfied to see exactly what might be there, the potential for just one of our 4 growing styles. And now, a month later, we've harvested something from just about every single type of potato planting that we've done. I think it's interesting to note that there have been some pretty big differences in terms of the results of each of the different methods that we've planted. So as we harvest here, I want to take you back through some of what we already harvested and talk to you a little bit about why we planted in so many different styles. So the first really big harvest that we got was our main in-ground, like modified raised bed, if you want to call it that. And our results there were actually really good. Over 100 pounds of potatoes. We still haven't told anyone the full number yet, but over 100 pounds of potatoes. And there was very little animal damage, very little insect damage. Everything just popped out nicely. And we were really pleased with those results. But then shortly thereafter, we uncovered our Ruth Stout potatoes. And for those of you who watched, you'll know that the results there were a lot less encouraging. We had animal damage, we had insect damage, and we really just didn't have the turnout that we wanted in terms of the harvest that we thought we would get. You know, we weren't overly disappointed because, well, it was our first attempt at a modified Ruth Stout harvest and modified Ruth Stout garden. And so since it was our first attempt and we didn't really know what to expect, we had heard that you can expect that kind of, there we go, you can expect that kind of garden, that kind of harvest to get better year after year. Oh, look at that potato. That is absolutely what we're looking for. But we definitely would have liked to see more potatoes come out of there, and we definitely have to get a handle on the voles or whatever critter was in there causing a majority of the damage. So that was our Ruth Stout. And those 2 methods gave us a very different return on potato investment. The method wherein we did our in-ground planting was about a 12-to-1 return on potatoes to seed potato, whereas our Ruth Stout method gave us about a 5-to-1 return. That's not too bad. I think I feel something right down in here though. Look at that potato. Oh yeah. This size potato showed up in our bigger, longer, modified raised bed, the earth compost mix, but it didn't come close to showing up in our Ruth Stout method. Oh, and look what I have found here. I'm gonna try to get you zoomed in real quick. This is a tremendous colony of ants down in this container. This is not something we saw in the other container, but they are climbing all over. So many ants down in here. I wonder if they made their way in through the holes in the bottom of these containers. And we really didn't see that in the other side. All right, so back to where we were. We have maybe a 5-to-1 return in Ruth Stout. Here from our 5 plants, we're hoping for something similar, if not better, than what we got in our other blue plastic container. They were about a 15-to-1 return. So from 5 plants, about 75 potatoes. Again, not all huge, but we're gonna do a comparison shot at the end to show you what we got in our total harvest from the other plastic bin and see how that compares to what we pull out of here. Again, these have had a month longer in the soil. Plenty of time for them to develop, or in some cases, I suppose, rot a little bit. Although we haven't had rain for the last couple of weeks, so rotting isn't really something that we were worried about. Although today was supposed to rain, and then I guess the rain got called off. Now, I think one of the things that this brings to the forefront here, one of the important elements of what we did this season, is we planted in a variety of ways. There was no way that we were going to just be disappointed and not have any recourse. So we planted in one method that gave us a great return. Well, really two methods so far, because the other container I would say did well. And then we had several methods that didn't produce, but we weren't stuck with that lack of production. We were talking together, my wife and I were talking together about what it would have meant for us if all we had done was Ruth Stout. And I mean, again, we still would have had delicious potatoes to eat, but it wouldn't have been anything compared to what we ended up really getting here as a result of diversifying our potato portfolio. Okay, we may have skipped ahead just a little bit in the harvest for a couple of reasons, but the primary one is we know you can't wait to see exactly what we got out of the ground. And here it is. 5 seed potatoes turned into 81 of these absolute beauties. 81 potatoes. So once again, we're averaging over 15 potatoes per seed potato. Now, if we compare this to our previous harvest from about a month ago, the biggest difference I would say, other than the fact that it's a different variety of potato, is there seemed to be more of the bigger size than there were before. So I'll say this, if you have an extra 30 days that you want to wait, you'll get a little bit bigger sized potato. And actually, we're going to put up a picture side by side so you can compare the two. Again, even though they're different potato types, you'll get a feel for the differences between these two. One just over 2 months in, and the other at about 95 days. Well, there you go. Well, this is the spot where we ended the first potato harvest of the year, so I think it's only fitting that we end this potato harvest here as well. From 5 seed potatoes, 81 delicious potatoes that we're going to take inside right now, allow to cure, and then enjoy every second of. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, leave us a comment, and let us know how your potatoes are growing this year. Thank you so much for sharing and subscribing, and always remember, when you're with us, you are good to grow.